pokes out his tongue. While at the same time looking extremely embarrassed and uncomfortable.
Safe to say that you're not overly interested in an elder god coming back.
He says, it just seems like a bad idea. For reasons I really can't talk about.
Why?
Because if I do, I'll just get... You know, if you banish me, I'll just get sent back to hell. But if I talk about this, I'll be in much more trouble than just getting sent back.
Due to Kaladek?
He shakes his head. Nope. Let's just say I got involved in something I should never have gotten involved in. And it's far above my pay grade, and I just want out. And the quickest way to do that is to try and make something not happen.
Would this mean that your superiors in the Hells are also not overly interested in Tharizdun returning?
He just looks at you. Like, he does nothing. He just looks at you, and he looks terrified.
Oh, back in common. Any other queries?
Jesus. He says, the imp says in common, you know that I can speak common, right?
Yes, but not all of them can speak Abyssal. It's just polite.
Two of us can. Am I really the only one who can't speak Abyssal?
Jesus. You've just been excluding the other paladin. Jesus Christ.
In fairness, the imp's been talking in Abyssal.
Did anyone translate for Pusukster?
Nope.
I've been very focused.
I don't want. I'm not gonna translate. Things.
What was it, Shnolgek?
I was just saying I can barely translate for myself.
What?
No more queries. I think we just find a plan to work with Galen, and whether or not this imp's going to help is a different question.
Well, I know that you could have just left at any time. So, how would you like this to play out? Do you want me to simply just release you, or what?
Well, since it already, happened once, I believe that if you just catch me and this time just snap my neck, it'll send me back. And he's not gonna question it too much. Should be fine. Don't have to answer things if I don't get questioned.
I'm going to inside check that.
Alright.
14.
Alright. Yeah, no, he seems to be speaking the truth. Or, like, as much truth as an imp speaks on a daily basis, but he seems to be sincere this time,
Yeah.
He does believe that he won't really get questioned if you just kill him and send him back that way.
Okay.
Because he has already gotten caught once. Kedalak knows that there are 2 paladins in the group, so it's not unreasonable for for you guys to find the imp and just murder him.
Yep. Well, I hope you don't take this personally then.
Just shakes his head, looking more, annoyed than anything else. It's like, it's as if dying is like just a bother,
No, I'm too low level for that spell. Damn it.
He actually says, I do appreciate, the lack of smiting and holy magic.
He's got a smite into. I was actually planning to do that.
I mean, you can still do it, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but now he's put me on the spot.
Do it.
It's more painful if I use the holy fire.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, definitely.
I'll tell you what. Given that you have actually been quite cooperative, I will spare you that this time.
Thank you.
Seems like a fair trade.
Yes.
And then I'll snap his neck.
Alright, yeah. You snap his neck, he poofs out of existence, leaving nothing behind. And yeah, you're standing outside of the gates of SaltMarsh. I'm gonna say outside of, view of the guards, because otherwise you would look like madmen. And yeah. You now have some information. You have a very confused paladin standing next to you.
I will summarize the gist of what just happened for poor Sam.
I would be surprised if I understand any of it.
And yeah, what's the plan?
I think we should pay Galen a visit.
I think so.
That sounds good.
You don't want to see what maybe Steve had in mind?
Where
Is
is
it up with a T-Rex?
Yes, but, God whispered in my ear and said maybe you should ask Steve.
No, I was just reminding you that Steve was also a wizard, and he might have some insight on wizards.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you do have Brothar
Let's
with
go
you,
see Gala
who
then.
has plenty of experience when it comes to dealing with wizards, so it's all good.
Fancy spell components at a discount. That's the secret.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, now that you think about it, you realize that you actually have absolutely no idea where Steve is, because you just sort of sent him off.
Yeah, Dallas.
Know where they live.
Look, I've explained this time and time again. I can find him if I need. But I'm sure he will be back.
Possibly riding an armored T-Rex.
Exactly.
Alright, so the plan is to go back into town, talk to Gillen.
I guess so. Got an evil wizard to smite.
Alright. Yeah, you turn around and you head back into town, and the guard, Martin, he looks at you and he says, "Forgot your underpants or what?"
No, just my bread, and I pick it up off the floor.
It's not there anymore. It's gone. Bread is gone.
Well, good. I'm going to take another one out of my fucking bag and put some cream on it.
Alright. You don't have any cream with you, but you can have some bread. Hey, listen!
No,
It's
I
not
just
my
got to take
fault.
my bread. Let's go.
Alright, you go, you make yourself over to Gellen's estate, which is busy as always, lots of people around, lots of stuff going on, cargo coming in, cargo going out. And, yeah, the secretary, he sees you, and he smiles at you, and he says, he's up in his office, if you need to talk to him.
Yes, that would be good, thank you.
Yes. Janice, you know the way, right?
Sure.
You do. Yeah, you do. You've been there before. And you head up, and Gellin is in his office. He's doing some calculations without his hat. You don't see his hat anywhere. But he has, as always, a glass of wine next to him. And he's like writing and mumbling, and he like shortly looks up as you go in, and he like puts up a finger, like give me one moment, as he like keeps doing maths. Do you interrupt him, or do you let him finish his calculations?
I'll let him finish it.
Right. Yeah, after like a minute, he like finally writes something down and closes the book. And he looks up, leans back, and says, well, if it isn't my favorite band of adventurers, let's call you adventurers. Janice, have you come to pay me?
How many people do you own by?
Pay you? For what?
Yes. For the boat you've not brought back. I remember stating very clearly that I will lend you those boats if you bring them back undamaged. And while you brought one of them back, I do believe I sent you out with two, haven't I? So I would like to, have some reimbursement for that. Boats don't come cheap.
Yeah, you're right. Here's your gold.
He smiles and he says, well, anyway, what can I do for you? You want some wine? And he like gets up and he basically leads you to a sort of sitting arrangement with like comfy chairs and a small table to the side, and motions for you all to sit down, and calls in an attendant as like, would you like anything at all? Drinks, snacks?
Some wine wouldn't go astray, actually. I don't normally drink much of it, and special occasions and all, I suppose.
Right. He motions to the attendant, who rushes out, comes back a few moments later carrying some wine glasses and a fresh bottle that he opens for you.
Thank you very much.
And Gellin just leans back and says, well, what do you need?
I assume you have some awareness of the cult of Tharizdun causing trouble around here. I mean, they are the reason I've come here in the first place.
I do believe Janice has mentioned that name once. I'm not entirely familiar with it, though, I have to be honest.
What have you told him prior, Janice?
I think
Good
you
question.
just mentioned that. I think you just mentioned that there was a cult with Tharizdun. I don't think you told him a whole lot.
Don't think we've ever mentioned it. Because I never got to speak to him once we got back.
Right, you never talked to him. Yeah, right, that was before. Sorry, my bad. Yes, no. You didn't talk to him about it. Sorry, wrong person. Yeah, he doesn't know anything about Tharizdun.
Yeah.
Like, he looks very confused.
Now, I came here with a fair amount of information about cults that were worshipping a banished or possibly dead elder god by the name of Tharizdun.
Okay. That does seem like something people of your order would do, yes?
Unfortunately, it appears that the longer I've been here, the more information I've had is becoming confirmed.
He raises an eyebrow and he looks concerned. Like, he doesn't seem like this would be good news to him. And he says, well, that's confirmed. Cults always are a cause for alarm, aren't they? Usually
Agreed.
come with a bunch of nasty side effects.
Especially to business.
What also particularly concerns me, we just spoke with Helidek, and unfortunately he has given me reason to believe that he has some sympathies with the cults. He seemed that he was quite aware of their existence, but went out of his way to downplay his knowledge.
Galen, he crosses his arm and frowns, and he says, he's a rather good friend of mine. I mean, I've known him for years now. He's helped me out on occasion, and I, get him his materials on a discount. I'm not sure he's the person to get involved with any sort of cultists.
We're not certain what his involvement precisely is. My suspicion is that he will profit in some manner if the cultists succeed in summoning Tharizdun, but I'm not sure if he is directly a part of any of these cults or is simply using them for his own ends.
Right. And do you know this, or do you suspect this?
I interrogated his imp.
Right. And you believed what that was saying? How do you even know it was his?
I'm rather familiar with the natures of familiars, along with contracts that are signed between fiends and those who summon them.
Plus, we've seen it in his tower.
That as well. He also guided us up to...
And we've seen it on many occasions. This is not the first time.
The imp is sent to spy on various people around town and gather information for Helidek.
He looks a bit annoyed and he says, so that's how he does it. I knew there was a trick to it. It's like... And he says, and then why exactly have you come to me? I mean, this just sounds like you want to talk to him. I don't see how I can help you.
We need to get him out of the tower.
Why?
Come on, Galen.
It is possible that he is a very great threat.
Him, a threat. A guy barely ever leaves his tower. All he's interested in is his research.
And what might that research be?
I have no idea. Something about portals. He tried to explain it to me multiple times. I don't have the brains for all that researchy wizardry stuff.
Well, if you're going to summon something, a portal is one method to do so. But a portal is also not exactly basic magic either. He is not a weak wizard by any means, but in his tower, we would be at a rather severe disadvantage.
So, what you're telling me is because of a few suspicions and an imp that may or may not be telling the truth, you want to attack my friend? Did I get that right?
We wish to neutralize him.
Right, well, I have seen how you guys neutralize things.
What we're telling you is your business that you run here in town that we seem to, help profit a little bit here and there is at risk because of this wizard.
If you are correct.
Yes, so help us find out if we're correct or not.
Well, I mean, from what I hear, you're not trying to find that out, you're just trying to take him out.
No. I wish to confirm our suspicions, and the only way we can do that is if he is put in a situation where he is more willing to tell the truth.
yeah. He glances at Stolgek just standing, sitting there with his giant axe. And he sighs, and he says, you do realize that a big part of why I've become this successful here is because of Cadillac. He has helped me on many occasions. I do not want to believe that he would have any interest in ruining this.
My preference would be to talk with him. And if he can come here and talk with us, then we might be able to find something that is less violent, a solution.
Well, the only times he really leaves his tower is to pick up new materials. I've never managed to get him out of the house on other occasions, no matter what. He you can see him thinking, and he's struggling, but he looks at you and he says, listen, how sure are you that he is actually involved in this? Do you really believe that he wants to help summon an elder god? Which, by the way, I hear about for the first time today.
I am certain that he has not been forthcoming with his intentions and his knowledge as regarding the elder god. Until
It's just a wizard.
He was forthcoming about other things, and this was something he was very clearly interested in not sharing, and not only that, but trying to mislead us on.
Give me a persuasion check.
Hopefully I don't screw that one up.
Alright. He looks at the rest of you and he says, what do you think?
What do we think?
Yes.
Well,
I would like to hear each of your opinion.
we're here with Brithar. That should tell you enough, shouldn't it?
So none of you harbor any doubts. You'll think that this is the case.
Certainly.
Kellen, we've known each other a while. You've got krakens in the river, cultists on an island out on the river, giant war going on outside the city, and a wizard in the town summoning demons. What do you think is going on?
Don't forget we did warn you of a kraken, Kellen.
Yes,
We're not exactly out
just...
to get you here.
I'm not trying to say that you're lying. It's just a bit much to take in that your friend and business partner of many years is trying to... He sighs and he says, what do you want from me? What exactly?
We want you to help us get him out of the tower.
Right.
And if need be, you can be standing right there while we have a conversation with the man. And hey, if worse comes to worse, maybe we can replace your business partner with someone a little better.
Well, like you, who doesn't even pay me back for the ship he owes me.
I just paid you back.
Yes, after I had to remind you.
Well, I did try to catch your attention in the fair, but you were a bit busy, weren't you, lad?
Both my wife and
that-
her father are wizards. Depending on what components, particularly if there's unique components you're able to procure, they may be interested in conducting further business with you.
He smiles a bit and he says, well, to be honest, if what you say is true, then I have bigger things to worry about than just losing one customer. I would very much want to be there when you talk to him.
Would prefer that as well, and my hope is that whatever conversation we end up having will ultimately be peaceful and not turn to violence, but I must warn you that violence is a distinct possibility.
He again looks over to Stolke and he just has this knowing smile and he says, yes, well, knowing you guys and knowing Kedelik's his disposition towards other people, there is definitely a more than 50% chance that it will come to some form of violence. I'm aware of that.
Do you have any methods of anything that might be able to generate something of an anti-magic field or something of the like?
Not really, no. I mean, the one we can ask, you should ask Captain Xandros, maybe she has something, but I mean, I would usually ask the wizard, but that's out of the question.
So our best chance to keep the conversation civil is if we can prevent him from casting in the first place.
Yes. Well, I don't believe he would outright attack you, but this is... How about this? There is a place we use to trade the more sensitive materials. It's outside of town. It's a bit, out of the way. I can send him a message that I have gotten in something special and that I want to meet him there tonight. Would that be...
Will that give us enough time to return to the lizardfolk?
It'll be fine.
No one's moving, no one's answering.
Yeah, I thought that I had.
I thought you were asking Scarabo.
I mean, if you leave now, you get back by the evening. So if you leave in the evening, you'll get back in the middle of the night.
It's probably worth the risk, given given what we've found out.
It's it's not gonna be that big of a deal if you leave on your infiltration mission an hour or two later. That's not gonna... The queen just wants it to be done as quickly as possible, but even if you're a day late, she's not gonna make too much of a fuss about it.
Cool. Who was it that you said that we should speak with about a possible means to counteract a caster?
Captain Xandros. She's a tiefling who has a magic item store at the marketplace. You probably know her, right?
I don't know if I've met her. The Janice, others maybe.
I know of her.
Janice, the others definitely.
She
not
has
gonna-
me on a wild goose chase at the moment.